You ever been scrolling and your feed just hits you with this one-two punch of content so weird, so completely random that you have to stop and ask, what on earth is the algorithm trying to tell me? One second it's celebrity drama, the next it's some declassified government document. Well, today we're going to decode that chaos. Our feeds have become this bizarre language, right? It's a mix of memes, breaking news, inside jokes. It's a whole thing, and it feels totally random. But behind all that noise, the algorithms are looking for patterns. They're connecting dots in ways you would never, ever expect. And this week, the algorithm gave us a real puzzle. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got the spectacular downfall of a music mogul, and on the other, a deep dive into secret government operations. These things feel like they're from different planets, but believe it or not, there is a hidden thread connecting them, and we're going to pull on it. Okay, so first up, part one of our puzzle, a story about power, a huge rivalry, and warnings that for 20 years pretty much everyone just ignored. It's really a classic tale, the whistleblower versus the guy who seems totally untouchable. This timeline really lays out just how long and how public this beef was. It all kicked off with this really weird moment where Diddy offered to take 50 Cent shopping at a wedding. Now, 50 saw that as a massive power play, a huge sign of disrespect. And from there, it just blew up into business battles, public insults, and yeah, the infamous vodka wars. And this quote, this really gets to the absolute core of the whole thing. 50 Cent's whole angle was that Diddy was this mogul who was just drunk on his own power, making these crazy demands just because he could. 50 basically positioned himself as the only one with the guts to say something, while pretty much the entire industry just stayed quiet. So the most important thing to get here is that this wasn't just some celebrity spat. No, this was a 2-decade-long campaign of really serious accusations. 50 was constantly dropping hints about dark stuff happening behind the scenes, from these out-of-control parties to how Diddy controlled his artists. But for years, people just wrote it off as trolling, just another beef.
Okay, now let's pivot to the other story the algorithm threw at us. And I'm telling you, this is where things take a much, much darker turn. We are going from the secrets of the music industry to the secrets of the entire state.
So, right after we get the story of a powerful mogul's public downfall, bam, the feed serves up this, a declassified history of an even bigger, way more secretive power structure. And you guys, the parallels here are actually chilling. So first, there's Project MKUltra. I mean, get this. For 20 years, the CIA ran a secret mind control program. They were giving LSD and all sorts of other drugs to thousands of American citizens who had no idea what was happening. They were trying to see if they could literally create programmable assassins. And when Congress finally got wind of it and started investigating, the CIA director had almost all of the records destroyed to cover their tracks. Then you have COINTELPRO. This was a secret FBI program created to neutralize political groups here at home. And this was way more than just spying. The FBI was actively trying to ruin organizations they thought were a threat. In probably the most disgusting example, they sent a letter to Martin Luther King Jr. trying to blackmail him into taking his own life. It's just unbelievable. And it's really important to see the bigger picture here. According to the source material, the U.S. has been at war for 93% of its entire history. 93%! And this constant state of conflict has been used over and over again to justify these extreme, secret actions, all under the banner of national security. Okay, so, a hip-hop feud and a history of government cover-ups. On the surface, what do they have to do with each other? Absolutely nothing. But here's the thing, the algorithm doesn't just see topics, it sees patterns. And this table just lays it out perfectly. The algorithm isn't saying Diddy is the CIA, of course not. What it's doing is recognizing the exact same story beats in both situations. You've got the abuse of power, you've got the whistleblower who gets ignored for years, you've got a hidden world of secrets and deception, and then, finally, a big, messy public reckoning. It's the same story, just with different characters. And that, right there, is the whole idea. The algorithm is basically a storyteller. It's pointing out these recurring narratives that define our culture. It sees that timeless story of powerful people hiding dark secrets, and the long, difficult road to bringing those secrets into the light. It's the same pattern, whether it's happening in a boardroom or in some classified government bunker. So, what does this all mean for us, as we're scrolling through our own feeds every day? Let's break that down. Okay, so here's the big takeaway. Your feed isn't just a bunch of random junk. It's a mirror. It's reflecting the stories our society is obsessed with at any given moment.
And once you start to see these patterns, you can become a much smarter, more critical observer of what's going on. You start to see the deeper stories that are shaping our world.
So the next time your feed gives you whiplash, showing you two things that seem like they have nothing to do with each other, just pause for a second. Ask yourself, what's the pattern here? What's the real story it's trying to tell me? I bet it's something more interesting than you think. Thanks for watching.